Hello, welcome back to Fred in the Shed 1. Now, a few months ago, I bought a MAMOD Steam Car, and I was absolutely amazed that these things from my childhood were still available in 2019. As I'm a kind of adventurous sort of a guy, I decided to buy the car in the kit form and put it together myself, and I had absolutely a great time in building this kit. And if you watch that video, yeah, you know I'm just a big kid, and I got quite excited when I fired it up for the first time, and the smell of the hot steam and the oil, absolutely wonderful. And I kind of got the bug for these little MAMOD sort of roadsters. So yeah, I decided to get another one. Well, I could have just gone back to the website and bought a brand new one, ready built or in a kit form, but I thought, well, where's the fun in that? And besides that, I fancied one of the early models that came out in the sort of mid to late 70s. Now, if you go on eBay, you can buy these in boxed and mint condition, but they're not as cheap as they once were, and you end up paying quite a premium. And, you know, once again, where's the fun in that? So I decided to look for one that I could restore. And it took me a while, and I was outbid a few times, but eventually I did find a complete car, but in need of a little bit of TLC. The car was described as worn condition and also untested, which said to me that it probably didn't work, but as I was going to completely strip this down anyway, I didn't think that would be a problem. But when it arrived, I was pleased that everything was there. It looked complete, no parts were missing, and that is quite important, because if you're going to go into one of these projects, I mean, the good news is that all of the parts are still available in 2019 to help you rebuild your car, but unfortunately they're not all that cheap, and when you add the price of the sort of parts together, the restoration can become a little bit uneconomical. So it really does pay to make sure that you buy a complete car with all the parts there, even if they are a little bit dirty or rusty. Now, like I always do, I had my video camera at the ready when I did the restoration, but I won't be showing you the complete thing here, just sort of a glossary, but I did capture pretty much an hour's worth of video that I put up on my sister channel, Fred in the Shed 2. There were 3 videos there which show the complete restoration, mistakes and everything. I show you the whole story. I'll leave a link to Fred in the Shed 2 in the description, and at the end of this video there'll be suggestions that will take you straight to those restoration videos. And while you're over there, well, have a look round on Fred in the Shed 2, because I've been putting up quite a bit of content in 2019, and maybe consider me for a sub. Okay, right, back to the car. So first thing, I just wanted to test, see if the boiler held steam and it didn't have any leaks. And unfortunately, yeah, there was a leak on the bottom of the boiler pipe. It rather looked like someone had been there before me and tried to sort of solder over the original sort of seal, and it wasn't working. And unfortunately, water was sort of coming out, and the car just didn't have enough pressure to move. However, as I say, that wasn't a great problem. I was going to take this completely apart anyway. It just meant I'd have to learn how to do some silver soldering on the boiler, which was something I hadn't done before, but hey, you know, I like to learn new things. So here's a series of pictures taken from those longer videos over on the other channel, and yeah, you know, it came apart pretty easy. Probably the most difficult part is you have to drill out the pot rivets, but everything else it just goes together with sort of, you know, nuts and bolts. And there's very, very little plastic on this sort of toy at all. Maybe the sort of the seat is made possibly the only thing. It's all kind of metal, and it's quite sort of, you know, refreshing to sort of take apart something that was made in the 1970s that is literally sort of nuts and bolts. I managed to resolder the boiler pipe. Didn't quite go right first time, but well, I'm not going to go into that on this channel. You can see it on the other channel. And then it came to the axles. Now the wheels were held on with like little press caps that broke when you took them off. So I decided that I would cut a thread into the axles and put the wheels back on with proper nuts. By this stage, everything had been repainted using Hammerite spray paint, and then it was just a question of bolting and pot riveting the sort of chassis and the body back together. As always, when you're doing a restoration, this is the most rewarding part, seeing everything sort of put back together and looking like new. I decided to fit new drive belts because the old ones looked a little bit stretched, and at this stage I was really pleased. The model was looking really great, and I was ready to try it for the first time because I've not really seen this car running. So I took it outside and filled up the boiler. I used the ionised water to try and prevent scaling. Then the boiler was fired up, the pressure built up, and well, yeah, unfortunately it didn't work. There wasn't enough pressure to really turn the piston over fast enough to get enough torque through the crankshaft, and when it was put on the ground it didn't have enough sort of power to move. So I had to go back, do another little repair and a few more adjustments, but after that, pleased to say, yeah, it worked.
There she goes, there she goes. And it's a little slow, a bit like it would have been if it was real, but it's running. Oh, come on, keep going, girl. Keep going, there she goes.
Going well now.
So there we go. You'll be pleased to know I'm wrapping this one up. I'm absolutely over the moon how well the Roadster ran in the end. It was really, really chuffing. It was really going for it, running probably as well as the Brooklands Roadster did. Yeah, and I'm really pleased that that sort of water leak did not reoccur. That did test me a little bit. Never done silver soldering before. A little bit of a challenge. We got there in the end. It took a while. We got there in the end, and really, really pleased with the way the model's come out. It looks almost like brand new when it would have landed at the bottom of some Christmas tree, and some lucky lad would have got something like this back in 1977. Imagine that, opening one of these things up Christmas morning. But there we go. As always, thank you very much for your view time. There is another little Sterling engine model that I'm going to be building very, very soon, and that will all be heavily featured on Fred in the Shed too. But as for now, as always, a big, big thank you. Cheers. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, look after yourselves, stay safe, and yeah, I'll catch you all on the next one. Catch you later.